Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind Podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 157. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Mondays with Mello, and today I'm going to talk about how some people won't understand your journey. And a quick little quote for you. Sometimes the people around you won't understand your journey. They don't need to. It's not for them. I don't know who that quote is by, but it's a very good one. I will say that. Now, when I started my journey with writing books, I thought so many people would be excited for me, support me, repost my content. But the reality of it is, no one really does any of that. Most people will not understand your journey, and here's why. Numero uno. They don't have big goals like you. Number two, their life is mediocre and they feel a certain way about you. Number three, they want to see how far you'll get before they support. Number four, because they know you personally, they won't feel obligated to support you. And number five, most don't have the drive and ability to do what you do daily. Those are a few of many potential reasons for people not fully supporting you. For me as an author, a lot of people don't read. But even when I record audiobooks, there's still the question of why I write the content that I do. And I had to make an important decision. Don't talk about my journey to everyone. People will ask questions to seem interested, and in actuality, they really aren't. Understand and know that it's not the end. You can't focus on those who don't understand your journey, where you are going, and the destination you're trying to get to. It's not the end all be all. Just remember that. And I don't want you guys to lose focus on what you're trying to accomplish and achieve. I've taken the time to understand myself, who is worth my time and energy, and how to stay mentally focused on what's important to me. Try not to get down on yourself when you're not getting the support you want and you feel like you deserve even more support even after all of the work that you've done. Because most people, they see what you're doing, but they're not going to go out of their way. Trust me. And they'll support the celebrities that they don't know, but they won't support the people that they do. And that's just an unfortunate reality. And if you do have a small circle of family members or friends or coworkers or whoever that are reposting your content or buying, whatever you've created or whatever the case is, that's a wonderful thing. And I want you guys to keep those people close to you and in your inner circle. Because I've learned over the past few years that the less you talk, the more people will wonder. And the more you work, the more results you'll achieve. You can't concern yourself with who's not supporting you. You've got to focus on who is. And I'm big on taking mental notes on who did what and who supported and who didn't. Trust me, I'm all about that. Believe me. And a lot of my friends who are entrepreneurs, music artists, creators, things like that, I do all that I can to repost or support or whatever the case is. And yeah, I have friends that probably won't support my other close friends, but the one thing that I do is to make sure that I'm supporting friends that I've grown up with, that I have some semblance or bond with them or things like that. Like that's important to me. I have a friend who's a hip hop artist, and he makes amazing music, and he's grinding to get to where he wants to be. And I've known him since I was like a teenager. He's like my three best friends' cousin, and I make sure that I go out of my way to, try to repost a new song that he may have made, or an album, or, buy his, um, his clothing and things like that. I'm all for it. Even if I gotta overpay for it, hey man, look, that's what I'm doing, man, because you the homie, and we've had our get-togethers, barbecues, and we've had and one thing we did have was some good battles on the basketball court. I will say that. So he's someone that I'm going to make sure that I support him in what he's trying to do and where he's trying to get in life. And I don't need applause or accolades or anything like that. Like, we know what it is. We know what it's about. And he's going to get to where he wants to be. Believe me, I already know that. I'm not even, not one bit concerned about whether he's going to make it or not, because I already know he is. Pretty much, he's already made it. I mean, he's worked with some bigger named artists, in the music industry already, and he already has some pretty good connections. It's just, a couple of dots that need to be connected, a couple of puzzle pieces that need to come together, and then his life is going to forever change. So what I'm trying to say is, if you've got friends who are doing certain things, just please do your due diligence. Go out of your way to make sure that they're being supported, because all of the little things, that you do go a long way. And I don't know who listens to my podcast, but trust me, I appreciate the hell out of you. And if you choose to repost, my podcast, awesome. If you don't, I thank you for listening, to be honest. I'm just turning my blogs into podcasts. And the blogs are quick reads, but the podcasts have a little bit more impact, because the blogs I wrote months ago, but the podcast has, more substance, and I'll have more to discuss and more to talk about. So I really am appreciative of every listen that I get on my podcast. I don't take any of it for granted, and I have my podcast on as many platforms as possible, because you just never know. One day somebody may click and listen and go, wow, that's some really great content, and maybe an opportunity comes from that. I don't know. But I always try to give great insight into my journey, what I've been through, what I've learned, what I've experienced, and I'm trying to pass the torch on to you guys. That is the goal, and that will always be the goal. So I just need you guys to know that. I need you guys to remember that. I don't take any of these listens for granted. I want you guys to do very well in your journeys and what you guys are doing, whatever it is. Whether you guys are trying to, become an artist, or whether you're trying to get to the top of corporate America, I want you guys to know that you have my support, and I thank you for yours, to be really, really honest. I love this journey. Even when I'm unmotivated, even when I'm in lazy mode, I still love it, because that's the roller coaster ride of life. And a lot of people are not going to understand your journey and what you're doing and why. And I'm quite sure some of you guys may be cultured and, may have certain family culture where it's expected for you to become a doctor or a lawyer or whatever the case is. And meanwhile, you just want to inspire and motivate people. You probably want to be a motivational speaker, right? It's how it goes sometimes. So I always tell you guys, carve your own path. Do what you guys feel is best for you. Make sure that you're happy mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And just keep going. Keep the people in your circle that understand and know your journey and are going to be there for you through the rough patches. So with that said, that's my podcast for today. Once again, I thank you guys for listening. As always, I want you guys to enjoy this week. I hope you guys got some great insight from this podcast today. Stay tuned because on Friday, I'm going to be delving into a really good podcast about character development in my writing. So, I'm gone, y'all. Be good, everyone, and go accomplish your goals.